Man, I am glad that the G4 series has a better standard of princesses than the G1s ever did.
As long as that's the real reason you're doing it.
I didn't realize how hungry I was.
What do you mean you left it on the counter? I thought you were bringing it. Well, this is just wonderful.
I still stand by what I said. Roll titles! Greetings all, I am Zion Craze and welcome to the Old School Pony Review. I'm your reviewer and today's episode is the Quest of the Princess Ponies. And this is the first of a couple of things. I'm reviewing a 4-parter episode and this is the first time we're introduced to a princess character involved in this series. Or characters in this case. Yes, there's more than one of them. There's 6 of them. Just 2 less than the current series.
What about the Glass Princess?
You mean Proxina? No, I'm not talking about her yet.
And the would-be Dragon Slayer?
Okay. I was talking about the pony princesses. I didn't mean princesses in general in this series.
So, were you talking about G3? You know, because of Princess Marmalade? Yeah, I'll be quiet now.
Good. Let's begin. The episode starts with Spike being lost with the Bushwoolies because these buggers have no sense of direction.
But being stuck with the Bushwoolies is truly a fate worse than death.
But along their journey, they find the Royal Palace, home of the Princess Ponies, guardians of the Magic Wand, and they're arguing who should be queen, and they are just as irritating as the Bushwoolies.
Anyone else feel bad for Spike right now? Because I do.
But while all this is happening, a lava demon called Lavan, yes really, emerges from below and steals the princess's magic wands for himself.
And tries to absorb all their magic,
but ends up failing and starts a chain reaction upsetting the magical balance around Ponyland,
including changing the lands in various ways, affecting the unicorn's magic back in Paradise Estate,
and changing the weather from warm to cold, aka British weather. Lavin, irritated by the fact that he couldn't absorb the magic, returns to the surface to capture the Princess Ponies to find out how to control the magic and captures Spikes and the Bushwoolies as well.
He doesn't manage to capture Tiffany though, who managed to fly away to Paradise Estate to find Megan for help, and they travel to the Moochick to ask for help.
Meanwhile, captured by the lava demons, they manage to easily get away from them and meeting some ice orcs to help them retrieve the magic wands.
But unfortunately, it's too late. Lavin has managed to consume all the magic from the magic wands and recaptures all his prisoners, including the ice orcs.
So can the Moochick's magic help Megan and Tiffany, or will the princesses succeed without their help?
Or will Lavin flourish in controlling the world?
This episode is a little difficult for me to say how I feel at the moment, but I'll explain what I felt on it overall later. Strangely enough, it's not the story that I have issues with. In fact, I actually like this story. It did actually hold my interest, but the princesses I'm not a huge fan of. So, who are these Princess Ponies? They are as following.
Princess Primrose, whose mane doesn't match her tail. Princess Serena, no relation to the Scout of the Moon. Princess Royal Blue, who doesn't have a British accent. Princess Starburst.
Her resembles more a Cadbury's caramel bar than a Starburst sweet bar.
Princess Tiffany,
who I will get to later.
And Princess All Foreshadowing, Princess Sparkle.
No, I am not making that up. But those are their names, so what are their characteristics?
Some Princess Ponies don't know as much as they think they know. I know enough to be queen.
A queen needs to have a very special talent for understanding her subjects. Like me.
You'll probably pick me.
Why?
Because I'm the best qualified. I'm going to be the queen!
Being bloody snooty knives, which are all the bloody same personality with the same bloody character model.
Except Twilight Sparkle, who is a unicorn, and Tiffany, who's a Pegasus. And if I can go on a tangent for a moment, I don't understand the hatred for black and red ponies. No, seriously, please don't tell me why.
Disclaimer, Zion doesn't care why people or ponies hate on black and red ponies. He likes them regardless.
Thanks, Dayton.
It's pronounced ACL, and you know it.
So, why am I bringing up this pointlessness about colour schemes? Because no matter how many points people or ponies will bring up, at least they have some colour on them.
Unlike Princess Tiffany,
who is just a white and white pony. Yes, I know there are white horses that exist with white manes, but Tiffany's meant to be a character, not an actual horse! She just looks completely bland, dull, and a serious need of colouring in. Or at least do something with her f***ing mane. I hate white bodies that just look f***ing lazy! And yes, I have a similar problem with Double Diamond. And if anyone who has an OC with a white colour scheme, please don't kill me!
They're never gonna get me.
But getting back on topic with the princesses, they start out as snooty characters, but later on they do change their attitude and later become better, especially at the end. And then there's Lavan. Silly name aside, he is a really effective villain. He manages to kidnap the princesses with ease, insert your own Mario joke here. He manages to absorb the magic wands without the princesses' help, and he transforms into a crystal form, which does look decent, but those lips just slightly kill it for me. And he can ride on lava with a wooden surfboard. Somewhere there's a your argument is invalid of this. I wouldn't mind seeing him return in this series, but if you're gonna use his crystal form, please do something about those lips. But I'm sure he'll come back and not end up like Sombra. Oh, what up? And yes, I have to mention the bush woolies were actually useful here. From knocking out the lava demons and helping the princesses and Megan, this was the one time I actually liked the bush woolies. I am willing to admit that. Took them long enough. Fun fact about the princesses toy line. In the UK, their names are not the same as the ones mentioned here. Princess Serena is named Princess Aquamarine, Princess Starburst is named Princess Amber, Princess Royal Blue is named Princess Sapphire, Princess Primrose is named Princess Ruby, Princess Sparkle is named Princess Amethyst, and Princess Tiffany is named Princess Pearl. Yes, I named them in that order on purpose. You can thank me later, Steven Universe fans! The animation is okay in this episode, but there are a few animation errors here, like Princess Tiffany appearing with the other Princess Ponies when she's not there! And after the third part, I have a feeling that Akon changed between animation departments because the bush woolies clearly changed arm colours, but aside from that, it was fairly decent. And I may not talk about this in the future along with songs because I am not a fan of the music in this series, but unless there's something I feel talking about in the episode with the animation, it will most likely get a miss. The writer of this episode was Michael Reeves, and this is not his only MOP episode that he has written, but those episodes are for later. Michael is a long-time writer ranging from novels, TV series, and animated movies. And when I say he's a long-time writer, I mean he's a long-time writer. In fact, I know I'm gonna miss a lot of his material that he has written, from his own novels, short stories, several Star Wars novels, and even a Batman story, Batman Fear Itself. Live action series include Buck Rogers, The Twilight Zone, Star Trek The Next Generation, and Michael even wrote an episode for the Star Trek fan series, Star Trek New Voyages, or Phase 2's it's now known by, and the original DC Flash series. Animated series, Michael has written for Batman, Spider-Man, every single He-Man, Ghostbusters Battlestar, Tiny Toon Adventures, Gargoyles the Biscuits, the Transformers the Smurfs, the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, Gem, Dungeons & Dragons, Phantom 2040, Flash Gordon, Pole Position, and Nova at least missed one. And finally, for animated movies, his most recent movie is Guardians of Luna. Oh, ha ha ha, very funny, Hal. No, it's a werewolf movie. But as far as I'm aware, it hasn't been released yet, and there was a couple of more movies he's worked on, but I can't seem to remember it.
Batman, Mask of the Phantasm.
Batman, the mystery of the Batwoman.
Oh yeah, it was those two! But unfortunately, I have to end this segment on a downer. Michael Reeves has been suffering from neurological disorder of Parkinson's disease for about 2 decades, and it's been difficult for him to type, and it has been problematic for him to speak as well, which is truly heartbreaking. He has a blog talking about his life with Parkinson's disease, which I will link in the description below, but it hasn't been updated since 2013. I do hope Michael does update this blog in the near future, or some news about what's happened to him, because I haven't found much about him recently. But with that aside, is this a good episode? Honestly, yes! This episode is a good episode. Admittedly, the princesses were not likable at the beginning, but I think that was the point. And the crystal form of Lavan lips just looked weird to me, but he was still a decent threat. And I was really interested in this story of this episode. I do recommend this episode for newer fans, it's worth checking out. What's next? So you finally changed that sound effect, and it's another Michael episode. I'm Zion Craze, and this was Acceptable in the 80s, and it's acceptable now.
Excuse me, Celestia, forgive this intrusion, but I have to ask, are you familiar with the Princess Promenade?
What the hell was that?
I don't know, but it looks like someone made a mistake.
I'm sure they'll be fine.
Celestia knows.